This week on Movie Time Machine, Kevin Smith is lying. Welcome to Movie Time Machine, your retro movie review podcast where we take movies from the past and relive them in the present. This week's topic, we're going to do something a little different. We're going to talk about some current events. We're going to talk about the new Netflix series Masters of the Universe. And I've been seeing some stuff on the internet, some reviews about Masters of the Universe that kind of had me thinking, like, I need to have a discussion about this. So, anyway, by the way, I'm your Time Machine host, Chad, and I'm doing this alone today, all by myself. All by myself. Keep your day job. So let's get right into it. Masters of the Universe just came out on Netflix, a new series created by Kevin Smith. I stand corrected. It's Masters of the Universe Revelation Part 1. It's a 5-part series that is now on Netflix. Check it out. Masters of the Universe Revelation is an American animated superhero fantasy streaming television series developed by Kevin Smith and produced by Powerhouse Animation Studios. This is a sequel to the original He-Man Masters of the Universe, which aired from 1983 to 1985. This did not include anything that happened in New Adventures of He-Man, which I think came out in maybe the early 2000s. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, I grew up in the 80s. I was original fan of Masters of the Universe. And it wasn't Masters of the Universe, He-Man, that was always like the toys were always I always thought were really cool. They're a little different, a little quirky. They all kind of had the same bodies pretty much, but it's just kind of weird characters, just weird names. And I thought those were all cool, but the He-Man was really, really corny, hokey, super campy. Was not really a huge fan of the cartoon. Going back to it recently and rewatching some of the episodes, it just doesn't really hold up. I don't even know if it was really that great back in the day. It was just essentially a vehicle to sell kids toys. So, but yeah, I always thought the toys themselves and like the artwork on the boxes and the little comic books that came with them were like my draw to them. I thought they were so cool. It just kind of like had this very medieval kind of, not steampunk, like maybe like kind of like this future retro futurism kind of. Yeah, I was a fan of that. So when I heard that Masters of the Universe was coming back and Kevin Smith was doing it, which I used to be a really big Kevin Smith fan, not so much lately. I just anything that he has coming out, I'm really kind of mad. It's not really something that drives me to any of his contents now. I've said about many other things about Kevin Smith, but whatever. Don't take it personally. But yeah, I was kind of excited to see what this would look like after seeing some of the trailers, and boy, are people upset about this series. And which I thought, I mean, I say it's not great. I mean, it's okay. I do think they do take some pretty bold choices here, and I'm not going to go spoiler mode yet. So, but yeah, some pretty bold choices. I personally think this is how you take an old cartoon like this and kind of reboot it while at the same time kind of carrying on as like being a direct sequel to that world. So I really liked what they did there. For me, it's they brought back a lot of the characters and like just kind of threw them in and gave them kind of interesting ways of introducing them to the story, which I thought it made sense and it just seemed really cool and really kind of made me buy into this fantasy world. But in the very first episode, we're gonna go on spoilers now, and this is what everyone is upset about: is He-Man. Well, wait. It starts out like this is where my judgment. I was like, oh man, is it going to be kind of the same campy, kind of weird nonsense stuff like the original He-Man was, and you get parts of that, but I feel like as you get towards the end of that first episode, it starts to feel like, okay, there's something at stake, right? versus like we know all of our heroes are gonna, be safe and well at the end of it and do our little He-Man PSA. But no, at the end of this one, He-Man dies. He-Man dies. And it's this huge revelation about everyone knowing that Prince Adam, finding out that Prince Adam was He-Man, and He-Man basically sacrificed himself because Skeletor was gonna do something that would destroy the entire universe. So this is what people are mad about because He-Man dies, and then essentially the rest of the series is about Tila trying to um, get the both halves of the Power Sword. So as you know, like back in the old toys, like the Power Sword was actually two separate swords, right? So to make the Power Sword, you put them together. So especially now, even I even bought my own children remakes of the originals, and He-Man comes with one sword, and then Skeletor has one, and those two swords they combine together to form the Power Sword. So the rest of the series is about Tila trying to basically find both pieces of the Power Sword and try to mend things before everything collapses, essentially. But yeah, I thought it was really cool, but a lot of people are mad about it, and I just wanted to go off on there is this toxicity in nerd culture and what they call the fandom, where I feel like majority of these white males that are so upset that Kevin Smith lied to them about He-Man because they sold this show as a He-Man show. My first comeback to that is like, no, it's called Masters of the Universe Revelations. So I'm sorry if whatever they did to promote it, I don't know. And it's not like you're out money unless you subscribe to Netflix just to watch this show. Then you might be a little bit upset, but I don't think you should be mad or angry. It just seems absurd. And it seems like a lot of the outrage is over Tila being the main protagonist then of the story. So everyone thinks that this is a result of woke culture and everyone bending the knee to have like this female character, and which I get like in some reboots where they just like take the same character and we'll just do it and make it a female version of it, like Ghostbusters, which I haven't seen. No, I don't have any criticisms of that, but I do think that's a little lazy. I mean, there's probably ways to, reboot something and make it different or give it a new twist. But here, I think this was really cool. Um, and I was watching this one guy. He goes by Neurotic on YouTube, and I mean, this guy just must make a living on just being angry about nerd stuff. I mean, he always going off about Lord of the Rings, but yeah, I feel like a lot of the outrage is just kind of misogynistic, racist, and they're really mad at Kevin Smith, whatever. I mean, I don't know. It's not that bad. I don't think so. Actually, I think it was pretty cool, even though I think overall the cartoon isn't that great, and its ability of not being great, that hand isn't forced by the fact that He-Man dies in it. I just think some of the writing in the animation is kind of whatever, a little weird. I don't know. There's something about it that I find that kind of throws me off a little bit, but yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty cool. I think total it comes to about 2 hours to watch like the 5 episodes. So it's like sitting down and watching a movie. And yeah, and that's part one. So I'm really excited to see what they do with the next part two. And for me too, it's yeah, get like I said, bringing back a lot of these old characters, and I especially like what they did with Moss Man. Turned him into he's kind of like this giant, tree kind of guy. Well, he's a Moss Man, and he lives in the Citadel, which I thought was really cool too. They take Castle Grayskull, and we find out all this time it's been cloaked as the center of like the power of Eternia, and it's actually this huge giant crystal castle, and that's how they've been hiding the secrets of Castle Grayskull. Which I thought that was also really cool. And then we get, some of my favorites when I was a kid. Like we get Stinkor, which is like the skunk man. And I remember one time I was on the road with a friend's band back in the day. We're like going out East Coast somewhere. Maybe I think they were playing a show in Philadelphia. And I smelled somebody walked by there wearing some kind of like perfume or essential oils or something. And I was just like, man, that smells just like Stinkor. And that was my first encounter of patchouli. So I realized that they made Stinkor smell like patchouli. I thought that was kind of funny and ironic. No offense to those who wear patchouli out there. That was just how I felt back in the day, but that was like 20 years ago. So don't be mad at me like these people are mad at Kevin Smith. Since I was saying somebody that on YouTube that was had like a negative voice on this, and do not check out his channel, but you're probably going to anyway if you're curious about that. But I mean, this guy's a total tool. But I wanted to throw out there, I did watch a review by a female YouTuber. I forgot to add here the YouTuber's name that I was referring to or referencing. It's Laura Legends. Now I'm with the show. And which she expresses some kind of positive notes about the series. Just goes into full spoilers, and throughout the entire thing, she's expressing how people aren't going to like this, fans aren't going to like it because the fans of this of He-Man is majority male dominated, how no one's going to like this, but it's kind of interesting that she is calling that out too, but not on the not so negative to where it comes off like misogynistic or racist. So yeah, just a lot of I just have been seeing a lot of guys out there just are cannot fucking handle it that this show is focused on Tila. But I think it's pretty cool. Plus, they're pissed off too because like she has like a girlfriend. I can't remember if they're like official in any capacity in the film, which whatever, I don't care. But man, that's just fucking blowing minds too. Which again, I thought everything was pretty cool. Maybe that's felt a little forced, but whatever. It's a Master of the Universe cartoon. I thought it was actually pretty cool. Not great though. I mean, you're not going to be mind blown, except I think the stuff that they do with He-Man Skeletor is pretty fucking bold. Um, so yeah, check it out. I think it ends really cool too. So I'll hold that as like a spoiler free, even though I gave away the He-Man dies thing. But yeah, watch it all the way through. I think you'll be surprised, and if you're a fan of the original, you're definitely going to like this one, unless you're pissed that He-Man died. So yeah, and also it's just like fandom in general. Like I remember even with like the latest Star Wars trilogy, that's what this kind of reminds me of, where people were so up in arms over like when the Last Jedi came out. And I myself am not a fan of the Last Jedi. I really think that Ryan Johnson ruined Star Wars, at least with that series. At least they at least Disney has been able to go back and I think make some cool shows, at least with like The Mandalorian. And I really loved Rogue One and Solo. I think The Last Jedi ruined Solo, essentially, because I don't think anyone trusted what Solo is going to be like. And I thought Solo was a really good movie. It was definitely better than The Last Jedi and The Rise of Skywalker. So, but just people like getting all, you know, outraged over actors and characters in those movies and like harassment of, is it Kelly Marie Tran, I think? Um, the the Asian American woman that plays, can't remember the name of the character, Last Jedi. I hate that movie, but whatever. It's not her fault. Writing was bad for it. It was just awful what they did. And they fucked up um Finn's character, and that was just like a super cool character they really could have built on. And just trashed it. But yeah, just overall fandom, like people are really up in arms now over like the Lord of the Rings stuff, and it's like, don't take it so personal. Like whatever, if it's bad, fuck it. Like it's too bad that somebody fucked it up, but we can't all pretend either. Like we can go out there and write our own script and make it better because you probably can't. So unless I mean, yeah, I mean, if you can do it, get it funded. But I guarantee you, 99.9% of us are not be able to going to get that made for TV or a reboot of a movie. So yeah, that's just my little rant. I just wanted to have that talk today, something current, and I'm also trying to fill some episode gaps here as Movie Time Machine is taking a little break here at the end of the summer. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. Other co-hosts of the show might find this as a surprise, but yeah, if you have anything that you want to respond to in regards to toxic nerd culture fandom or anything around the Masters of the Universe Revelation cartoon animated series on Netflix, let me know how you feel about this. And again, anyone that I talked about on this, YouTube personality, stuff like that. Um, Again, I'm not attacking them directly. I just think some of the things that they said may come off a little angry and or um, maybe a little misogynistic. So, but yeah, try to keep it positive out there. Thank you for listening, and I might be doing a couple more of these too. So, yeah, hope you enjoy. Let me know how it went. Give me some of your feedback, and as always, thank you for downloading this episode of Movie Time Machine, Current Events Edition. If you have any questions, comments, or feedback, send them to movietimemachinepod@gmail.com. And you can also follow us on Twitter at Movie Machine Pod. You can send us direct messages on there as well. Send me your tweets, share your tweets about the show and any other current events going on, or any movies or suggestions you would like us to do in the future. Thank you for listening, and we'll catch you next time. Bye bye.